Blog Talk Radio.
Yeah, y'all ain't ready for this one. Agent Prince, Ty Hart, get up on your feet and give praise to the Lord, y'all. Woo! I'ma do my dance, lifting up the kingdom. I'ma do my dance, lifting up the kingdom. Dancing like David, once you play this song, you're free to celebrate, come and sing along. I'ma do my dance, lifting up the kingdom. I'ma do my dance, lifting up the kingdom. Reigns in the present and he reigned in the past. Let's go praise the Lord through the good and the bad. When the stress hit me heavy, got a two-step. At times I forget about the God that I rep. I'm grateful for the gift of music, cause of it I'm blessed. While I'm making these bangers, I put my pain to rest. I can't even stress enough how much I go through. God, I don't know where I be, I didn't know you. Still the devil giving me a hard time. When he knocking at my door, got an electric slide. To the Lord's side, cause it's where his joy will be. His grace is due every morning, so now I'm feeling free. Yeah, I'm free. Can't be focused on what I was, but what I could be. A changed soul, just seeking to live eternally. So go ahead, put on your favorite song and give praise to the Lord while you dance along. Don't care if you got two left feet. Celebrate what the Lord's done for you, cause it's just too sweet. I'ma do my dance, lifting up the kingdom. I'ma do my dance, lifting up the kingdom. Dancing like David, once you play this song, you're free to celebrate, come and sing along. I'ma do my dance, lifting up the kingdom. I'ma do my dance, lifting up the kingdom. Reigns in the present and he reigned in the past. Let's go praise the Lord through the good and the bad.
We soldiers in the checking off another mission, whoa. At the trenches, we climbed out of all the ditches, whoa. Put the work in, we ain't taking any breaks. Ain't no stopping on the way, living every day by faith, ayy. Used to be cool with a few, then they switched up. They don't know they gave me all this fuel to go fill up. Looking up, cause now I'm focused on the rise. Thanking God for my life through the lows and all the highs. I just wanna know that my life is covered like it's chilly on the road. Waves surrounding me, but right now I feel like I can flow. I know God is with me everywhere that I go. Holding me together all the times I've been broken. Yeah, I've seen a lot of doors that became open. Every word you spoke, I chose to put my hope in. So right now I do my dance, body in motion.
I'ma do my dance, lifting up the kingdom. I'ma do my dance, lifting up the kingdom. Dancing like David, once you play this song, you're free to celebrate, come and sing along. I'ma do my dance, lifting up the kingdom. I'ma do my dance, lifting up the kingdom. Reigns in the present and he reigned in the past. Let's go praise the Lord through the good and the bad. In the air, yeah, in the air, in the air. Keep 'em up, keep 'em move to the left, if you feel it, praise the Lord. Move to the right, if you feel it, praise the Lord. And wild out down, wild out down, wild out down, wild out down. Go off with it, go off with it, go off with it. Praise the Lord, praise the Lord. I'ma do my dance, lifting up the kingdom. I'ma do my dance, lifting up the kingdom. Dancing like David, once you play this song, you're free to celebrate, come and sing along. I'ma do my dance, lifting up the kingdom. I'ma do my dance, lifting up the kingdom. Reigns in the present and he reigned in the past. Let's go praise the Lord through the good and the bad.
What's going on? You have tuned in to another episode of On the Move, Unscripted, with Patricia M. Goins.
And Mr. Stout.
I put you to work today, huh?
You really did. Like, look.
You know, they don't like to put you to work. They don't like it when you put them to work. Mm. When you talk about work, they be like, This has been a rainy week here in Columbus, Ohio.
Yes, it has. Yeah.
That rainstorm wasn't no joke. I heard it was out south too, right?
Yeah, in the south and the east coast was raining. Yep.
Yeah. It's been a rainy week, and also a crazy week. So, they talking about bringing back corporal punishment in the schools, right?
Oh my goodness.
I don't know if it's gonna work this time, right?
No, you can't do that.
Because when we were young and they paddled us, we took that, because we was used to getting beat down anyway. So getting beat down by the teacher wasn't nothing. But this new generation right here, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? They might pull a paddle out of their backpack and smack the teacher back. Like, I don't know if this generation right here is ready for that.
So, yeah, we can't go back to that, That's how making America great again. How about that?
I don't know. This generation right here kind of scary, y'all. The ones born in the 90s, 2000s, they a different breed.
Wow.
And we were used to that. They was already doing it. The grandmama and them go get that tree off that switch off the tree. You know what I'm saying? We was used to that.
Right.
This generation right here, they got children's services and the police on speed dial. Get my mom about the what, man? You know.
Open the door for them.
It's a whole different breed.
How was your week?
You know what? My body is starting to get used to this swing shift thing.
Yeah.
So I work on the weekend and I work day shift. But then I work during the week and I work night shift. So it's just like I'm swinging from day to night. What's the day? What is it?
It's Wednesday.
Is it daytime or nighttime? I don't know.
Right, your time changes. It's like, it's starting to get to you.
And some people might be like, why are you working 2 jobs? Because I'm on a mission. It's called a plan. It's called a marketing plan. It's called goals. It's called write the vision and make it plain. I need money to do what I want to do, so I got to go out there and do what I got to do, even if that means getting a job.
Yeah.
Some artists, you say the word job, they're like, what?
I got to do what? It's all work, even with artistry. It's a work. It's a job.
It is. It is a work and it's a job. But the thing is, it's like a baby. For most artists, their music, their creativity, whatever it is that they're creating from scratch, is like an infant. It's a newborn. And it cannot survive on its own. It can't produce. It can't do anything. You have to feed it like a mother has to feed a newborn baby.
Right.
So you got to do what you got to do on the day job or in your own business or however you make your money legally. You got to do that, right, to feed to feed the dream, to feed the vision. So I got some plans. And I need money to do it.
Yeah, I mean, that's all. Like you're working on what it takes to get these things out there. When it comes to artists, it's the same thing, right? And you gotta. It says they take care of a baby. You gotta feed the baby, right?
You gotta feed it.
And if that's your dream, your passion, then you gotta put that towards that as well. And having artists like we have tonight with us, coming out of the Bronx, New York, doing her thing, did a lot of good things. Shae, Goldenvoice Lawrence is on the line with us as well.
That's what's going on. That's what's popping. She was in that tournament, right?
Right. Yeah, it was the Versus. Yeah.
The Versus.
Yeah.
Who did she go against?
It was I want to say Kia. I think her name was Kia.
You told me they was killing the game.
Oh, it really was. Yeah. It's really dope. I think we got her on the line with us right now. We're going to patch her in. Shae, you with us?
Yes.
All right, hey, Shae.
Let's crack them.
Yes,
Hi, hey, y'all.
Right.
What's happening?
How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Good.
How's everyone?
Everybody's good.
I can hear that Bronx in that voice, too. I bet you was killing them in that tournament, wasn't you?
You already know. I had to bring it for the Bronx to be extra all day. Yes.
I hate that I actually missed it because I was at work, but Kenny was bragging about it. He was jumping around, doing cartwheels around the road and stuff.
Look, it really was really good. Everything about it was like really so dope. Like, how the way you guys were going back and forth in the songs, and and how the way like the camaraderie was like it was like so good. Like how the way you guys were just like doing different things and different songs and but also like representing what it takes to make like a really good song, like to be a really good performer.
So what was the tournament?
Right.
What exactly was it? What Shae, what was the tournament?
Oh, this was actually the Music Industry Live Soul Singers Battle. It was between myself, Shae Lawrence, and Nakia Jalise. This was about like 2 weeks ago now, I believe.
Right.
And it was on Instagram. Shout out to Jessica Banks. She was the moderator, and it was a dope experience.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I know this is your first time to On the Move Unscripted, but we like to take all the guests back down the memory lane. I'm talking about the Wiz. Yeah, we're going way back. So I like to take you down Yellow Brick Road, and if you could please tell me, where did your love of music start at? And you can start anywhere you want, infancy, on up, anywhere.
It really started when I was in elementary school, and my fourth grade teacher, shout out to Miss Jones, she just so happened to hear me humming a tune. And she was like, "You really have a good voice." And from there, she put me into the talent show, and it was at that point that I was like, I really, this is what I really want to do. And then, I grew up in the church, singing in the church like a lot of artists, so that was really like what cultivated that. But one real instance that sticks out in my mind is when I was in 4th grade. I'm telling my age now, but that's all right. And I was listening to the radio, and SWV's Week came on, and that was the first time that I felt goosebumps from a song, and I was like, yo, this is amazing.
Wow.
That was like a real time that really sticks out for me. Shout out to Coco of SWV. I've heard her sing live, too. She's an amazing vocalist as well.
Oh, yeah.
I love SWV, man. I love that whole group.
One of my favorite
everybody
girl groups.
Yeah, you know, that was during the era when girl groups was killing the game.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, I miss that. I miss that era. You know, I was just thinking about that the other day. You don't really see any groups anymore, especially like R&B female groups. It's like that era kind of just like dwindled out. You know.
That's because they got pushed out the way by Lil Ray right now.
Cookie there from around the corner was like, but I would say that my favorite female vocal R&B group, apart from SWV, two, Destiny's Child and Brownstone.
Oh yeah.
I love from the 90s era, Brownstone. I mean, I love them. I really love them.
Yeah.
Escape came out here. Remember, Escape came out here. They turned out. You remember Escape? I love them too.
They came out to Ohio.
They came out to Ohio from in February, right? Because we went to the concert. It was them. It was Monica. And who else was it?
No.
It was a couple other people, but Monica and Escape stood out to me like the most.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, you know what? I should be standing out. I should be performing in Ohio. Come on, somebody. Shae Lawrence.
Come on with it. You know what?
Come on.
We really do want to start doing some stuff in Ohio.
Yeah.
The thing is, all the artists seem like they want to go to Atlanta, and Atlanta is the melting pot. It is, but it's not the only city in the USA.
Right? Everybody's outside.
Everybody
so
going to Atlanta. And you know, I've never been to Atlanta.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've never been to Atlanta, but it's definitely like one of the meccas, or you know, one of just like you said, the melting pot of that, you know, pushing your music. That market is big down there as well.
Oh yeah, you can go to Atlanta and have a show at 9 a.m., then another one at 11 a.m., turn around and do another one at 4 p.m., and roll on down the street to the night show. And all day.
I like that. I love it.
Right. So tell us a little about the things you've been working on, like some of the things that you have like a very like a long history of music and things that you've been doing. Like let our listeners know some of the things you've been doing, you know, throughout your whole career.
Well, in terms of who I collaborated with, I've been blessed to work with the Locks, you know, Jada Kiss, the you know, Styles P, Chic Luch, that group that Diddy signed years ago, and they still relevant to this day. Let's be real. And I'm also of Caribbean descent, so I've worked a lot in the reggae world, and I've worked with big artists such as Luciano. Sizzla featured my video one time, and I've worked with Freddie McGregor. These are like the big, you know, legends in the game. I don't know if you're familiar with reggae, but those are the ones. You feel me? Yeah. So I'm just grateful. Oh, good. I'm a big lover of reggae. Grew up listening to it. Yeah, my mother said the first song that I started dancing to in the crib, I swear, you know, was Red Wine from UB40.
Oh,
so even though it's like kind of like pop reggae, it's not really like the hood reggae. You know what I'm trying to say? It's not like the gritty reggae, but that was definitely one of my to this day one of my favorite records. So my love for reggae and music really even stems even further back than I told you initially. So. But I also have a record out called $1 Million, which is reggae inspired, R&B inspired, and it's a very feel good record, as you can probably tell by the title, Feeling Like $1 Million. And I have Andy Bassford, who is a Grammy Award winning guitarist. He's playing on it, And he's played for everybody and they mammy and they pappy. He's very he's very accomplished in the game as well. Yes.
I'm loving that that cover for Melanin Poppin. I actually shared it in a couple of groups in Atlanta Music.
Right, you wanted to get that song.
Group.
Yeah.
Are you a member of the Atlanta Music Industry Group? Are you a member of the Atlanta Music? Are you a member of the Atlanta Music Industry Group on Facebook, Music with a Z?
No, I'm not. But I will definitely join after this.
I posted it. I posted it in that group. We have over 32,000 members, and then I also posted it in some other groups.
Wow.
But I love that cover. That's that action power. That Melanin Poppin like that.
Yes.
Poppin, mama.
Yes.
I like that.
Thank you so much. That record is really dear to me. I mean, everywhere I go and I sing that record, it's just like it does something to people. And it's a catchy record. And the message behind it is just really what I want to push because I'm very big on, representation. We unfortunately don't. I mean, I think the landscape of it has shifted a little bit within recent years with inclusivity and showing darker skin individuals and a plethora of different skin tones, but we still have a long ways to go in terms of that.
Oh, yeah.
So this is definitely an anthem for all of those individuals around the world that feel like or were told that they are not good enough or they can't accomplish things because they are of a darker tone or because they are of color. You know what I mean? So
yeah, because I don't know who even spread that lie that chocolate wasn't it. Like I don't even know who spread that lie.
See, we ain't got that kind of time for this history lesson tonight, baby. Because don't get me on my soapbox tonight. But
no, you know what? You know what?
Say it loud. Say it proud.
You know what? Because me being dark skinned, I know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? And I think that people think that dark skinned people are always you always want it, but y'all don't understand the torture that they took us through.
Exactly. And it's so crazy that you mentioned that because I actually was having a conversation about this very topic today, and it's just like the negative connotation that we as people and women of color, we get like this narrative on us. Like they have to really stop. We really have to stop perpetuating that narrative. Like we're always agitated and angry. Well, yeah, of course. And I hate to, but Malcolm X said it himself. Black women are the most unprotected and disrespected. So of course we're gonna be a little more, you know what I mean? We go through more. We don't have the same luck like everybody else. Everything we do, we gotta go extra hard because we don't have the same advantages. So people really have to take that into consideration and be more kind and compassionate to the plight. You know what I mean? And that's a really big issue.
It's not that dark-skinned women are mean. We just, we don't take no BS because we've been having I had to fight all my life.
I had to fight.
The color purple. No, you're not doing
Lord
it.
have mercy, Lord. It breaks my heart. It really does. So that's why I was like, you know what? I really have to create an anthem, right, for individuals like us, to feel like, wow, like to feel seen and to feel heard and acknowledged in a world where we don't get much acknowledgement.
Is that is that song for sale? Is that song for? Because I don't have that song tonight. Is it for sale? Because I want to go buy a copy.
Oh, actually, I think I actually have to double check that. It should be on iTunes, but it's definitely on YouTube. I actually have to re-put it back on social music platforms, but it's definitely on YouTube. Melanin Poppin' by Shae Lawrence.
Yeah, because I'm going to have to put that on blast in my car as I'm driving through.
Please do. Feel free.
I'm still like the people in the 80s and blast their car, blast their music all loud, bump, bump, bump. I'm still like that.
I know that's right. We got to bring that energy back. I'm all for it.
Yes. So were you born in Jamaica or just your parents?
No, I am a Jamaican, a proud Jamaican. I was born in the Bronx, actually, but my parents are Jamaican. Straight from
so that must have been.
Hello.
Yeah, because that means she had the best of both worlds. She had that Jamaican love, and then still, on the American side. So it was just like both. I love y'all food. Oh my gosh, ain't nothing like Jamaican food.
Right. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, the jerk chicken is my favorite. You heard?
Jerk chicken.
I tell you better stop playing. And on top of that, the food in New York is the bomb diggity. So add New York and Jamaican flavor together, and you already know. You already know.
Man. as Jamaicans say, it turn up.
Turn up, yeah.
So I'm reading your bio, and it looks like you performed in a lot of really great places.
Hammerstein Ballroom was awesome.
Yes. That's actually where I did background vocals for Luciano, the big reggae artist.
Okay.
Wow.
And then, we performed at NJ Pack as well. And that's actually where I met Andy Bassford that I was just telling you about on that gig.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So how do you feel like as an independent artist in this day and age, and as an older artist, because I'm an artist too, so that's why I really want to speak to you. How do you feel as far as how our music is received? Because we're not, the young teenage, beanie boppers.
Pop artists, yeah.
Right.
How do you feel how do you feel?
How do I feel about being in this era where you're not a teeny bopper anymore? Trying to make it, right?
Yeah.
I've gotten to a point, excuse me, I think that with the way that social media is going, I think that things have somewhat shifted in a sense where anyone can achieve a certain level of success. I don't think it's so pigeonholed anymore. I think it's a broader horizon where people of different ages, depending on what you have going and how you present it, it can be successful. It can go viral. It can pop. You know what I mean? And I don't think it's so much like one time where it's like if you ain't 21 or if you ain't 18, you can't make a name for yourself. So, because for a while, even that whole mindset held me back. I got in my own way because, sometimes you let people get in your head and then you get in your own way, you start believing it, and you're feeling like, well, I'm old now and nobody want to see me. So, but if you really think about it, I don't consider myself to be old. I ain't no spring chicken, but I ain't old. And I know that my talent is my talent, and a talent doesn't age. Where is it going? Right? Sometimes in life, certain people have to experience certain things. Everybody's story is different. Just because she made it at whatever age doesn't mean that you can't do it. Everyone has to go through things. And when I think about it, I'm like, if I would have made it or had more success when I was all over the place and dumb and young and naive, they would have chewed me up and spit me right on out. So I'm glad that I've gotten to a point where I'm definitely more headstrong and more sturdy within myself. I know myself. I know what I'm going to do from what I'm not going to do. And I set my clear boundaries, and it just makes a world of a difference, But honestly, I do have moments. I do have my moments where I be like, I do feel that little pressure, hello, like you're looking at the calendar and you're like, wait, it's another year, and you still, you kind of get a little worried, biting them fingernails a little bit. But, God's plan is God's plan. That's all I can say. And what he has to do, no one can take it away.
And everything is about timing and seasons. And not only that, but you know what? I think that I like to call us seasoned. How about that? Nice and seasoned artists. We're bringing back what's missing right now. See, there's an open lane right now. And even in R&B or in music, there's an open lane. Literally, because, they've been it's been oversaturated in the rap area, in the hip hop, that they've completely forgot about R&B. So it's an open lane, and there's no age cap to it.
Right.
Exactly. And I feel like when you are a singer, I mean, I hate to I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but singing opens up more doors. People are more accepting of singers, I think, regardless of age. I think people tend to be a little more critical of rappers when they're past a certain age and still rapping for some reason, right? Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, well, Uncle Pop come out there with that gold chain on. Like, Uncle Pop.
Like, hold on, sit down real quick.
Yeah, I agree, though. I think that there is a lane. I don't think R&B is dead, but I consider myself to be kind of like a hybrid of R&B with the Caribbean flavor. That's my little, that's my shtick right there. But I agree with you. Now is the time. Now is the time, definitely.
I wish more would come out. I really do. I wish that we had more variety than we have.
I know, right?
People who sing about things that matter, or sing about things that'll touch your soul, or sing about things that'll make you think. Like, I wish we had more of that, because we've been so over. We know the streets well. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We can find our way around the streets. We understand about the streets.
Like everybody around the country knows.
We know about the streets. We know about running from the house. We know about all that.
Right.
But it's time to get back to love. You know what I'm saying? It's time to get back to love. There's a lot more going on in the world than just what's happening out there, in the hood. Like, we got racism going on. We got police brutality going on. We got issues, women's rights. There's so many topics that artists can take and just really make masterpieces. Like, there's more. More.
Right. And I'm big on substance, because I grew up on people like Lauryn Hill and Stevie Wonder and Bob Marley, and you know what I'm saying? So it's like, and I'm not even going to lie, like, there was a period in my career where I was veering off, honey, and I was doing some things I'd rather not mention musically, where I look back at it and I'm like, damn.
You ain't got to talk about that.
I'm a little embarrassed. Don't judge me. You don't know my life. That was a different time. But I went off track because, when you see other artists, right, and when you see the climate of where music is going, you're seeing that less substance, or it appears as though, anyway, in my mind at the time, it appeared as though less substance was becoming more popular and getting more attention and being more successful. So I was like, all right, I'm going to do something ratchet too. Hello? And, but when I really, and it was cute and it was fun, but when I look back at it, I'm like, is that really actually what I want to do? How is that going to touch people's lives? You know what I mean? So I try not to get so down on myself about certain musical choices that I made, because that was a different time and that's what I was going through, and that represented that was just a snapshot of that one particular time in my life, right? And it
shows that you it shows your growth, and it shows that you have different varieties. You're not, you haven't put yourself into one particular, style and just got locked there. Like, you experiment, like, you've done some things, you learned some things. Right. So now you can come back and you can sing about those things you learned. That's what's up.
That's what makes it,
I pride myself on being versatile. I'm very versatile. I'm a chameleon when it comes to that. So, like I said, I try not to get down on myself. And when that record, I have a record from years ago called You Ain't Gotta Love Me. And it was ratchet, okay? And it was sexually, charged, I'm not going to lie. And, of course, that record, it got onto, like a up-and-coming artist, a forum from Hot 97, the big radio station in New York. And that joint was on number 6 of that list for a number of weeks. And I was like, wow, that really, it was doing well. But I don't know, man. Right now, I'm just
That's not where you wanted to be at. Yeah.
Well, so when did you do that song? When was that music out? When did you do that song?
That was about, oh my God, like 6 years ago now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well,
that was about 6 years ago.
When we were young, the babies were being born off the R&B music, but they don't do that no more. So they still need that kind of music so these babies can get born.
I know that's right. But if I'm gonna do something pertaining to that, I would do it more tastefully. Right,
yeah.
I would do, because the way it was like I was like, basically the song is like, oh well, ninja, if it ain't you, it's gonna be somebody at a revolving door. You leave and he come in. It's like, ew. I don't even like what that represents because I'm not judging anybody. We all have whatever we all do have done what we done, but where I'm at in my life now is just like, yuck. I don't like what it says about me personally, But hey, somebody.
I've been thinking about how it relates to the next female, the young girl who looks up to that, or even the young man look up to that. That's why I'm thinking, like, when it comes to the trap music and stuff like that, I can understand it when when it's in the setting, but when it's like the mainstream and then everybody's following through, like, that's when it affects people. So like, when it comes underneath, like when the first time I put a song out, somebody said, "I remember you," like, years later when I talk to them, they'll say something like, "Oh, this is how this affected me." You know what I mean? Like, I remember this song was like this. Your bars were like this. Yeah. So when that kind of stuff happens, that's what you're doing, what you're passing down to the next generation. So that's why I always be like mindful about the way I write songs.
And not only that, but artists have to evolve. You have an artist who has not evolved and their music hasn't changed, their style hasn't changed, their message hasn't changed. That means they haven't grown. So you don't need to be ashamed of that music that you put out back then. You know what I'm saying? Because or whatever.
What fits that track, like what you're looking for. You know what I mean? Like what you want, what you were feeling at the time. You know what I mean? Because music is really a total expression, and you put it out there to the world to accept it. To recept it like that kind of way, like so. Yeah.
I love it. I think it's. And people want to hear different things at different times. So maybe something that was,
play it right now, you're like, oh, my joint.
Right, because that's the mood they're in. You know what I'm saying? But then they want to slow it down, and so when they want to slow it down, they go and find something else to listen to. Right. Now when you go to the club, they hopping from the moment they get in there to the moment they get out. They don't slow dance, they don't slow down, they don't, everybody sweating, nasty, like nobody gets to do that touchy type of hugging. Everybody just twerking. I don't understand it.
Yeah, you're ready to get a hug now. You're like, oh, let me go sit down now. I've been twerking for an hour.
Did you see the turkey music video where the turkey was twerking?
It's dirty.
Oh my God!
You gotta put that on the show.
Like we need to get back to love. We need to get. It's time to get back to love, though. You know what I'm saying? Love. So tell us about that song. Like, what brought about that?
Which record?
It's a million. It's called $1 Million.
Oh, $1 Million. Oh, right. Yeah, that's the that's actually a re-released song. But it is what it is. Life is life. But that record is a very feel-good record. It's about how you've been through the mud. But it's not really focusing on that, but it's talking about how you're out of the mud and how good it feels to be out of that mud. And you're just grateful to be alive. I mean, that's just such a blessing. And it really, I mean, when you hear the song and when you see me online, you wouldn't think that I've been through some of the things that I've been through, but I really try my best to just stay positive. And that's the type of message that I want to send out into the world and into the universe, because especially considering all that has transpired within these past 2 years alone, okay?
Right.
It's just been such a tumultuous time, people dying. I lost my grandmother, who was she was definitely like my best friend, and it was hard for everybody. So I just wanted to put that message out to hopefully help people heal. You know what I mean? And dance and feel good, because people, it's crazy. Depression is real. I'm a big advocate for mental health awareness, and this record really just shines a light on just feeling good, man, for real. That's what it's about.
You know, that's the area that I work in as a nurse. I work in a mental health area, and you would be surprised about the opioid addiction is out of control.
Oh, my God.
Suicide, depression, like it's real. Because it's like we're living in a whole different era from just 2 years, 3 years ago. You know what I'm saying? It's like almost like when we talk about 2019, it's like, wow, do you remember them days? Even though that was just 3 years ago, but our whole world has changed, and everybody hasn't been able to adjust, you know?
Right.
Exactly. It's been crazy, and you know, I say this all the time. I'm just happy to be here because sometimes I wonder how I even got through some things because, you know, the fact that I'm even talking about this right now on a podcast, I'm like, whoa, come on, somebody, come on, God, because last year it was a totally different story, polar opposite. I was just like, I don't even want to be here, child. Seriously, I don't even want to be here.
That's because your mission, your assignment, your purpose, you know, and your gift is still needed. That's why there's somebody who needs to hear the message in your music. There's somebody who they feel like they can't move on, and they're going to hear your song, and
they're going to need this. Thank y'all for you to
that's why
be here.
I said, it's really important, you know, and I still go through it. I still have those moments, but, you know, I just... What's that?
I'm sorry. He's going to play the song real quick for the $1 million.
Okay.
All right?
Yes, $1 million.
Yeah, we're going to come right back and let's chop it up some more, a little more.
I don't believe in, let me tell you something, Ms. Shae. I don't believe in accidents, right? So I believe that if we're going down that line talking about mental health and all the things that's happening, somebody needs to hear that.
Yes,
so let's go ahead and play the song, and then let's come back and readdress it.
$1 million. We got Shae Lawrence right here. Goldenvoice. Unscripted. Let's get it to turn it up.
Yeah.
This is for all of my people that made it through the struggle. And now you're feeling like a... Hey! Peace, my God.
Gonna be a good day. Live life no fear without a care. Okay. I'm feeling like $1 million. No negative, I can't touch this. No. I'm feeling like $1 million. No negative, I can't touch this. No. Welcome to a brand new. And I'm so grateful to be alive. The way that I smile, the haters despise. The way that I live my life, I'm gonna hold my head up high. Let God be my guide. Never gonna let them steal my shine. So put your hand in the air, you know it's gonna be a good day. Live life no fear, without a care. Okay. Nothing gonna get in my way.
We used to sing about love and the struggles we faced just because. And when we fell down, it would give the people hope. You listen to a song and remember every note. Forget the 3 minutes, cause the band be on one. If it touch your soul, you can bet it be a long one. That music, it takes you back, let's do it. Bring that back cause we need it. Lord, I receive it. So, some Luther Vandross, some Curtis Blow. But my ears, music got a way to go. And I fear that we never make it. Not until we form our own and we take it. So much talent, but it just get wasted. Cause good music equals no plays. No ownership equals no say. Stop killing in the music, okay? What happened to the music today?
Whatever happened to music? Somebody send out an SOS and save our music. Whatever happened to music? Do you remember that good old music? Whatever happened? Somebody help us. Somebody send out an SOS and save our music.
This is your boy, Bad Boy Billy Sly. Whether I'm just chilling in the studio or kissing a leading lady or out on the street promoting our new CD, Kenny G Wall of Bass, no matter how you play it, I'm down with Patricia and Mr. Stout on the Move. Unscripted, baby.
Oh, yeah.
On the Move, Unscripted. I like that tune. You know, I love her song. What's it called?
$1,000,000 Bucks.
I love $1 million Bucks. I love that flow. It makes you want to dance. I was up around here dancing around the room. Yes, I love that.
I love that. That's what it's about. I love that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I like that. I like that upbeat thing.
Right.
So the song that you heard, the second one, that's me singing Whatever Happened. Mm-hmm. So it's just like, whoa. I feel like this generation needs us. It needs you, artists like yourself, artists like me, other artists who are, we have something to offer. We have something with some substance, you know. I mean, ain't nothing wrong because you're always going to have your trap rap lovers and all that kind of stuff, and I'm not tripping on that. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody got their flavor. Mm-hmm. But that can't be the only thing we're hearing.
That's the radio
balance. Right, exactly. We need balance.
We need balance.
I like that record, by the way. I'm impressed. That was good. That was dope. Your record,
Thank
right?
you. I
What's
appreciate
the name of it? No problem.
It's called Whatever Happened, featuring Conte the Hero.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's what the perfect message. That's exactly what you were talking about. Okay, that makes sense. I like that.
Yeah. And thank you. I appreciate that. And I like your song. So that's what I'm talking about. We need more music that speaks to the soul, that speaks to music used to be like that. Right. You know what I'm saying? You know, Public Enemy came out with a message. You know, Lauryn Hill, they came out with that message. You know what I'm saying? The Fugees, they had a message. There was a message in the music.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, it really was. Yes. How the way you picked it up and stuff like that. I mean, coming out of you know, the Bronx and stuff like that, man. Like you from the home of hip hop and everything like that. So I know you got like a plethora of different music out there, like you like grew up listening to.
Oh, of course. You know, it was once again growing up in a Jamaican household, but being American. But I was more so reggae influenced and R&B influenced. You know, of course, I appreciate, you know, the hip-hop records, but I was more of, like, just focused on, like, other genres of music, more so at the time. But it's all, like, it's all beautiful to have different types of genres of music that you can enjoy, even classical, you know, because I play piano as well. And I have little formal training, but I have, you know, a little classical training. But even that, I'm open to different genres of music, and it really opens up your palette, and it makes you a better musician, you know. But
you know
every day coming.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay. And when, just like you said, being from the Bronx, you hear everything. It's a melting pot. You hear the bachata, you hear the merengue, you hear the reggae, reggaeton, reggae, every dance hall, you hear it all. So yes.
Love that.
You know, they took you said you played the piano, which anybody who plays an instrument, I'm just so in awe of all of y'all. But you know, they're taking that out to schools. A lot of the schools don't offer choir anymore, or they don't offer, learning how to play instruments anymore.
This is where they're messing up big time, because music, being able to play an instrument and being in a musical setting, they don't understand how therapeutic it is, and how it really enhances your brain. Like seriously, they just think, oh, it's just music, whatever, okay, bye. Like, no, there's actual healing properties to this. There's, the possibilities are limitless. When you it ties into everything too. Music is math. When you really think about it, the beat, the time signatures, certain. I don't read music, but, certain notes count for certain amount of beats. It all ties in. So I don't understand why they would be so ridiculous as to remove that from any school. That's crazy to me.
And now with what's going on with the pandemic and stuff, because you already know 30 years from now, 25 years from now, these kids, we're going to hear their horror stories and their sadness and their depression about what they went through, all that kind of stuff. At least this kind of stuff, music, instruments, learning music, instruments, having that to lean on will help them, or give them at least something else to focus on, especially if they're going through the craziness in their home life. You understand what I'm saying?
Energy.
Yeah.
Come on, somebody.
Back in the day when the parents were acting crazy, the kid could go get their horn or whatever, go in their room and just play, or their drums, like they acting crazy, now let's go ahead and make a beat, They don't have that. Yeah.
The music saved me. I mean, I know people have said that it might sound corny and cliche, but the music really saved me from some, you know what I mean? Yeah. I don't want to say the word, but you catch my drift. Like,
right.
It's just like, I never gave it up, and God bless my grandmother's soul that she took me that one summer in Florida to go visit her sister, and they had an organ, and I've been on that thing ever since. I have never not had a piano since then, I swear. I've been playing, literally doing this my entire life.
Grandmamas are so important. I lost my grandmother this year too, so I know how you feel. Oh my God, that was like the hardest
my
thing.
Condolences.
I feel like I lost a piece of my soul. I am not lying.
I miss her every day, but you know what? I use that as motivation to keep pushing, and I can feel her smiling. Everything I do, everything I accomplish, it's a shame that she's not here. I always envisioned that she would be here to witness it in the flesh, but it's all right. She's witnessing it now, and that's all you can do, man. What else can you do? You just have to keep pushing forward and just make it better for the following generation. I have a son, make it better for him, and so on and so forth. That's all you can do.
Back in the day, Grandmama used to get all the kids, all the kids went to Grandmama's house.
Oh,
yeah. Just like Big Mama house. They ain't doing that now. Big Mama at the club.
Big Mama chilling, like, hold on, I ain't going to be on this weekend.
Big Mama twerking.
Big Mama twerking?
Right.
No, Big Mama, no.
It's crazy.
Big Mama look like she's 40.
Right, she ain't wrapped up.
They don't make them like they used to, child.
She got the whole Fendi gear on, thing poking out and everything. What's going on, guys? Like, that's really good.
It's craziness, pure insanity, yo. But even oh my God. I don't know if you heard at the end of the $1 Million record that little voice that you hear saying that beat is fire. That's my son, honey.
Oh. Okay. So your son is following in your footsteps.
Huh?
He's following in your footsteps.
Oh, absolutely. He has been coming with me to the studio since he was in utero. Hello.
Wow.
I have videos of him. I have videos of when I was pregnant recording. And when he was born, I was in the studio recording with him in my hands. And And he is very musically inclined as well. So, hey, he might be the one to really take this thing to the next level. You never know.
I believe
that
it.
boy good.
Because he grew up with it. Like, those be the geniuses, the ones that, they were hearing it in the womb and came out hearing it. And it's just,
yeah. And he's been around. I've taken him to the rehearsals, and so he's been exposed to this from the beginning. So, yeah, I love that. It's very important.
Right.
Do you have any
that they're taking music out of schools?
I'm
What's
sorry.
That?
What did you say? Say that again, please.
No. I was saying that's why it's bad that they're taking music out of school.
Yeah. True.
Yeah. It's. I think in Columbus they went on strike. Columbus, Ohio, the teachers went on strike because they was mad about the conditions and about them eliminating programs. Like they went to bat for the kids, you know.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. I hope they got what they wanted too.
Yeah.
You know. So do you have any performances coming up? How do you feel on stage? Like, what's your feeling when you get up on stage? And have you been on stage since things have opened back up?
Oh man, yes, I've been gigging. I actually did the Face of Curvaceous, which is a model search. I performed there this past Saturday in Harlem, and it was so amazing. And when I'm on stage, it's like I'm home. It feels like I have no fear. It's natural. I just do it. And the people are very receptive to me, and they always compliment me not only on the vocals but my energy and personality as well. I pride myself on all of those things. The stage presence is not just going up there and singing. You have to be charismatic, you know. And the fact that I'm even gigging now, because believe it or not, there was a time where I wasn't doing any gigs. Well, for one, you know, as being a single parent, it was harder than when he was younger, but once again, I was concerned about my body image and the way I look, and I felt like I don't look like them, or I don't feel, worse. I was heavier. I just didn't want to be on nobody's camera, and so I just didn't want to do it because I was insecure. So to be at this place where I'm just like, oh well, y'all gonna get these roles. Y'all gonna get these.
Y'all go, hey, and like it. Don't nobody care. Stop looking at it if it offends you.
Oh my God.
You gonna get this little skin, and y'all gonna be all right, okay? Because this is what it is, man. Take it or leave it. The world still turns. You know.
So always pull them in with the performance and things like that, and then how the way you are, your personality, and how you guys are doing. Like, people overlook a lot of different things when it goes to something when it comes to like true talent.
You know, I like what she said. Did you hear what she said? She said, take it or leave it. I don't care because heads still turn. Go ahead and tell them about that, mama. Heads still turn. With the belly in the roll, you better understand where we coming from.
Yes, I got to talk about it.
I'm like, look at me.
Oh, I know Boo Boo Bear. I ain't looking no more.
I got to talk about it. That's my truth. Yep.
Huh?
No, that's my truth, definitely.
Yeah. You know what? If you're not confident, you have to be confident about who you are. And you got to love you. And you got to think that you're beautiful, flaws and all. You know what I'm saying? So that you don't care about what the rest of the world thinks, because it ain't about what I look like. It's about the message that I'm giving to you. Right. So how about you sit down with your judgmental self and listen to these words I'm trying to bring to you through this melody. How about that?
Hello. Exactly. But let people tell it. They be like, you ain't this, and when I was, back then and more, susceptible to that, you ain't this and you ain't got that, so you can't do it. After a while, you start believing it, to the point where I'm like, making appointments to get back alleyway butt shots, TMI, sorry, but hey, it is what it is. And I'm not gonna let society put that in my head, and I go lay down on somebody's table and might not make it off that thing, okay? And I'm not judging anyone who wants to do whatever. I don't care. More power to you. But it's just like, why? When you can really just embrace what you have instead of trying to live up to societal standards. I don't know. Maybe people just go through pressure when they're in the public eye. I get it, but I don't know, man. I'm not risking my life.
It must be because you
what
see
they doing with Izzo, right now with Lizzo. I mean,
what they doing with her?
I mean, they always keep attacking her about what she's doing, what she's wearing because of of her weight and stuff like that or whatever. But she's like something's in her own skin and she's doing her damn thing. But
she pulling out millions of records. Y'all shut up and stop worrying about it. Somebody don't give a darn, okay?
She's super talented. Yeah.
If that's what she wants to do, that's her business.
Right.
I'm like you, started off at a late age. I didn't really start. I was stage fright. I was afraid. People was telling me I couldn't do it. They would laugh at me. All that kind of stuff. Until I got to that age of maturity where I was just like, I don't care what nobody thinks. I'm going to do what I love to do and I'm going to do it for as long as I can do it. And if that means I get millions of fans or just a couple fans, and I don't care because what I'm doing makes me happy. And that's what it's about.
It affected somebody else. Exactly. Affected by that. People they're gonna pick up on that and say, yeah, like I remember, seeing Patricia on the stage, or I remember seeing, Shae on stage and stuff like that. Like I wanted to be inspired. That's what people go to concerts. I go to concerts to be inspired. I don't care what they look like. I done seen some old jokers, and I done seen some young jokers. Like I was to see Paul McCartney in Yankee Stadium, and I was in the nosebleeds, basically, you know what I mean? But
you was happy for them.
You know what I mean?
Like, you over there dancing like you was down on the ground. Right. I'll show you, boo. So when's your next performance? You got anything else lined up that's coming?
I actually I'm hosting a fashion show. Shout out to Exclusive Runway Tales. I'm hosting that September 11th, and I'm going to be performing there as well. And this is actually my first hosting gig. So,
well, congratulations.
Yeah,
that'll be nice. I said, congratulations.
Yeah,
do you have a flyer for it? We can help circulate it for you.
Yeah.
You got a flyer for it?
Actually, I got to dig in my archives for that, and I'll definitely send it to you.
Yeah, and we'll help promote it for you. That's what we do.
Okay, good, good.
And this cool thing I want you to know, Shae Goldenvoice, Lawrence, what I want you to know is you have come down our lane. So once you come down our lane, you are forever in the family. Yeah. And so whenever you have music or whatever you got going on, definitely share it with us, you know what I'm saying? Put it, join our groups, like, rock with us because we're going to the top and we're trying to take as many people as we can with us.
Factual.
Oh, man, I love that.
Yeah, I've been following you for a while, too.
I'm so glad to hear that.
I've been following you for a little while, and seeing what some of the things you've been doing out there. Definitely respect what you're doing and big up to what you're doing out there. And it is necessary what you're putting out there, so other people can see that, they can do it too if they get through the little things that they have to get through, to get there, and I mean, looking at your bio and your EPK and things like that, you've really worked with some good opportunities and great opportunities. I've seen the thing you did with WBLS, doing voiceover work. That's something that I wanted to get into, like coming out of Jersey. Huh?
I forgot I did that, actually.
Wow, that's a big deal.
Yeah. Wow, I appreciate that. I really do. I really, really do.
Aren't you glad that you didn't allow those naysayers and those, haters? Because sometimes the people that's discouraging you, they just be jealous. They be jealous because they got their own dreams and goals, and they don't know how to chase it. They don't know what to do. They're not inspired enough to do it, so they looking at you like, sit down. No, I don't want to sit down. You sitting down enough for both of us. I got this.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it be your own family members, too. But, hey, that's a whole other topic.
Come on, listen. Come on. I hate to go down that lane. Somebody hurt to go down that lane, but you telling the truth. You would think that our family and close friends, a lot of times, we got like 12,000 cousins, you know what I'm saying, like 16 million uncles and aunts and all that kind of stuff, but they won't share nothing. We'll have a small pocket that will have our back, mama, cousin, or sister, maybe one or two cousins, but you got like 12,000 cousins.
But you know what's interesting, and just to show you how things work, right? I didn't even know that at one point I was on TV because I actually was with a band, right? And apparently something had got shared on like public access. I didn't even know. And my family member called me like, oh, how you doing? And we got to talking, and they was like, oh, by the way, I saw you on TV. I was like, what? But just last year, it's just so funny because just a year prior, it was like, that's why you ain't never going to make it in the industry, and that's why you ain't this, and that's why, yeah. But, and then you just, literally, I cannot make this stuff up. I cannot make this stuff up. What are the chances? You can't tell me that's not God working, because what are the chances of you having to turn on TV
in your face,
and change the channel and see my big forehead right there on the screen? So I'm just like, you know what? That was my confirmation. Like, I'm doing something right. Come on, somebody.
Yeah, it probably wiped their eyes, got closer to the TV because they couldn't believe what they were seeing. I understand. You know, it don't make no sense. You don't understand that, you know, we family, so when I rise, you rise, we rise. Like, you know,
but unfortunately,
if everybody can't make it to the top, one person make it and bring everybody else. That's why with Joseph got to the top and brought everybody else. Like, come on now.
Too much pride and ego, unfortunately. But, hey, you just got to keep pushing and humble yourself and just pray on it. It has to happen. When you remain consistent and you just disciplined and dedicated and you stay prayed up, it has, you know, it's inevitable that things are going to come into fruition. It can't not happen. You know what I mean? With that formula, it has to. It just has to. You don't know when. That's the tricky part, because if you ain't got patience, it's like, yikes. But you just know that as long as you put in the work,
I was just talking about that.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
I was just talking about that today. Literally before the show, I went through this whole, because, you know, sometimes I have to take over the Atlanta Music Industry Group, and I have to just do gospel, whatever. You don't have to douse it with some positivity.
Right.
And I was just talking some holy water. I had to spray holy water on it. Yeah, it'd be rough up in there sometimes. But and I was listening, and I was just talking about that, like patience. You know, it may not happen overnight because everything is about timing and seasons. You know what I'm saying? And so you're building until it's your time and your season. But it takes patience and faith to do that. And work ethic. Really, because if you lazy, ain't nothing about to happen no how.
All right now.
I'm just following up on your path. I'm just jumping right behind you because you are speaking knowledge. I'm just jumping on the thing. I'm like,
I love that.
And that's what we're here for, Shae Goldenvoice Lawrence. That's what we're here for. We're here to continue to spread the knowledge to these younger generations and to generations to come, because understand this. We are leaving digital footprints in the sand. So that means that even when our time has come and it's time for us to move on, you know, to whatever God has next, whatever heaven or whatever, our presence, our energy, what we created is still going to be here, and it's still going to be feeding the souls of the next generations of people to come.
Yes, I'm very big on that. What is your legacy going to be, right? What is it going to be? Somebody got to break the generational curse. Somebody, you know, the buck stopped here. Or, you know, we just got to change. We got to shift. We got to shift it for the next, just like you said, just the next generation, man. Have to. Yeah.
Because I don't know if we can talk to the current generation. They lost in the sauce. You ain't listening to us. They listen. They back in the time listening.
Yeah,
I mean, we still got to start with them as well, but you know, but yeah, for future, like on and be like, yo, my great granny, she was a big star, and you know, we want to leave something for them to be proud of. That legacy is very important.
Look at this, Luther Vandross been gone, and we still listening to his music.
Exactly.
You know,
classic, timeless, longevity.
Classic, timeless, longevity. A house is still a home. A house is not a. What is that song? A house is not a home. Still love that music.
She said a house is not.
So I always like to ask first. Let us know everywhere that we can find your music. You know, if someone wants to reach out to you, you know, definitely leave your social media handles. Do you got any interviews coming up, you know, on other podcasts or interviews or whatever? We ain't no haters. You can go ahead and spread the love, let them know. Mm-hmm. And then also, after that, I want you to give some words of encouragement or enlightenment or inspiration to someone who have had those naysayers to tell them that they don't have what it takes. But first, give us your social media and everything.
Okay, cool. My my Instagram is real_Shae, and that's SHAE. On Facebook, I'm SHAE Goldenvoice Lawrence. And you can find me on all music platforms on Shae Lawrence, SHAE Lawrence.
All right.
Okay. And then and the music, all your music. What do you have any music or albums or anything that's out? Yeah, outside of what we talked about today.
Not at the moment. I'm actually going through a little bit of rebranding, and I'm trying to figure out the next move at this point. But I'm just focusing on the records that I have right now. I'm just trying to feel it out a little bit. Oh, but I will say I have a video for $1 Million coming out soon. I shot it in Coney Island, and that was very dope. So that's be on the lookout for that. That's dropping soon.
Okay, that's what's up.
Yes.
And what's did you give us your you said are you on Facebook too?
Yeah, Shae Goldenvoice Lawrence.
Okay, so everywhere. I have to So give us speak to the spirit.
Oh yeah.
As someone who has been hurt by the people that told them that they wasn't good enough or they wasn't talented enough or they were too old or whatever. Like, what would you say to them?
I would say, hold on one second. I would say that you just have to really remain connected to the source, the higher power, and that will really guide you and give you the support that you need during times when you're feeling discouraged, when it's all said and done and the lights cut off and cameras go off. It can get very bleak, you know, but you still have to remind yourself of your purpose, you know, and what you are here to do and what you have in your heart. And sometimes things don't necessarily pan out the way that you envision them, but there are other lanes, other aspects that you can tap into, you know. So you may not necessarily be like on stage singing, but get into songwriting or whatever it is your craft is. There are so many different lanes and more than one way to skin a cat. So you just really have to remain disciplined as well, humble, and just really put in the work and remain consistent. And something literally, it has to happen. It's inevitable. You just got to stick. You got to be in it to win. If you're not in the mix, you're just not in the mix. You got to be there. You got to get out and network, and things will definitely pan out in a major way. That's my word of encouragement.
Right.
I hope that resonated with somebody. I don't know.
Yeah, somebody's going to hear this, and when they do, they're going to know, because we definitely are on a lot of different countries around the world. I know we're heard in India big time, in Nigeria, and
nice.
You know, also a lot of parts of in Asia. Yeah.
In Jamaica, what's going on, Jamaica? The freaking wedding, baby.
Yeah, that's right. You're on
Jamaica. You know what? When I look at the analytics, when I go back to, you know, because we're on Blog Talk Radio. Right. Shout out to all our Blog Talk Radio listeners.
Yes.
But then after the show airs, we download it and we put it on Spreaker. We put it, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, iTunes, like just about everywhere that you can find a podcast. On the Move Unscripted is going to pop up. You know what I'm saying? And so people from around the world download. Let me tell you something. People are still downloading shows that we did at the beginning of 2020. Like they're going back and they're listening or even re-listening. So you just never know who God will steer to hear what it is that you have to say, because God will send people to hear specifically your message, your testimony, your story. So I'm so glad that you didn't allow the haters and naysayers to stop you. I'm so glad we didn't. Mr. Stout, myself, we keep pushing. We don't worry about who likes what. We just do what comes from our heart, our soul, and let God take care of the rest.
Right, guidance to the rest.
That's all you can do. I love that.
That's all you can do. Yeah.
Really appreciate you.
For sure.
Yeah. I'm going to have to roll back out with that song.
$1 million.
I got to roll back out with $1 million.
Definitely, yeah.
I got to let some people that
we're going to get Melanin Poppin, too, coming on this week as well on Skin Beach Radio. Music
I'm going to go buy that.
Yeah, we're going to have that song definitely rocking in rotation as well.
Because back in the bed is weird.
So much. Oh, snap. I already know. That's factual.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
On the Move Unscripted. On the Move Unscripted. We're so happy that you came by. I'm so excited for you, for your career. Yeah, and for all you got going on.
Yeah, do you have anybody you want to give a shout out to? Somebody you want to say hello to?
Shout out to my son in the next room. How you doing, JoJo? That's about it.
All right,
all the people that have been supporting me over the years and supporting me now and sharing and commenting and listening to the music and watching the journey, coming out to the shows. I really appreciate you guys. I really do. And I don't take it for granted, and I don't take it lightly. It means a lot to me. It means the world. Thank you so much.
No doubt, guys. Definitely.
Much love.
Look out for Shae Goldenvoice Lawrence for all the endeavors, things she's doing. This is a powerhouse right here. Great music. Singer, songwriter, pianist, and entertainer, vivacious, big up, bop, 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 bop. Go all the way up. The Bronx stand up. Show us some love all the way out there. On the Move Unscripted. Let's get to the joint right here.
$1 million, baby.
Turn it up. Thank you so much.
This is for all of my people that made it through the struggle, and now you're feeling like a hey, my God.
Gonna be a good day. Live life no fear without a care. Okay. I'm feeling like $1 million. No negative, I can't touch this. No. I'm feeling like $1 million. No negative, I can't touch this. No. Welcome to a brand new. And I'm so grateful to be alive. The way that I smile, the haters decide. The way that I live my life, I'm gonna hold my head up high. Let God be my guide. Never gonna let them steal my shine. So put your hand in the air, you know it's gonna be a good day. Live life no fear, without a care. Okay. Nothing gonna get in my